Hey guys, this is Will from Going Awesome Places, and I'm really excited to be able to do finally my comparison video of the Peak Design Everyday Backpack 20 liter and the 30 liter. So I've had these bags for a while, I've taken it on a couple trips, I've used this extensively, I've used this guy extensively, and now I can really safely and confidently talk about both of these backpacks. It's been incredible to use these over the past couple of months. I've really enjoyed this as my everyday, literally everyday backpack that I use in the city, going to work, using it for small trips and things like that. This has been awesome. And now with the 30 liter, I've used it for big trips. Just came back from Hawaii. I've done it for winter adventures here in and around Toronto. So, I mean, the first thing when you look at them, I think what people most want to know about is really the difference in size. Is it truly that much different? And when you first look at them, yeah, it's a big difference. When I took this out of the bag, I was like, this looks very familiar because it's really an exact replica in terms of design and just what the bag does. But you look at them side by side, and they're different. Like the size comparison is quite obvious. This one just sticks out a lot more. It's wider. It gives you a lot more space at the end of the day. It is 30 liter versus 20 liter. Everything is just bigger. And so there's a lot of space to work with. Both bags have been pretty awesome. So I've talked about the 20 liter in detail with my last video. So why don't I talk about the 30 liter that I have here. So the 30 liter, of course, this is the ash gray color versus the charcoal. And with the ash gray, I mean, the fabric is amazing. I think with the photos and the videos that I saw on YouTube, it was hard to tell what it would truly look like, but seeing it in person is different. I think this is a bag that gives a lot of character, this type of fabric. It looks spectacular. I love the accents that they've added on this, where here they stuck with the blacks and the red accents. You got here the gray with the saddle brown leather and the blue accents on the thread here. And so this really gives it a nice character to it, and I really love wearing it. It's still an incognito bag. It doesn't look like a camera backpack, but gives it a bit of style when you're traveling. So I love that. Honestly, all the features on this are really the same. So I'll do a quick run through, and then I'll talk about like just how I've used it and my feedback so far. So as you know, mag latch, that really is all the same. I think the big difference here is that you just get that much more space. The top compartment has a lot more space here at the top, and I'll talk about the packing in a moment. But I think one of the big things is just more space to work with. I can put a lot more stuff in here. I put clothes, more camera gear, my drone, all of that. Mag latch works well and the same. And then you got basically kind of I call it kind of the butterfly wings that you got here. It both opens up, and the side compartments here and here, the compartments themselves are designed the same way, but just a little bit larger. I think just scaled a little bit bigger. Here I can put pens, cards, and things like that. So a lot of pockets to work with, right? And then you got here on this side, I pretty much use it as my camera accessory gear pocket, right? So these are perfect slots for batteries, especially for my Olympus OMD EM1. Got the batteries here. I can put some filters, more batteries, and things like that, cables. I use that side for my accessories. And then, of course, you have the same slots that we had before, right? So these are slots and dividers that you can do whatever you want with. I've pretty much left them in the same configuration as the default, but I use these flaps to quickly create additional dividers if I want to separate, my camera with the lens. I got full pass-through if I want. So these have been very, very helpful to have and critical, especially if you got camera gear or just want to divide your stuff, clothes, let's say. And what else we got? Then we got the top zipper here. The top zipper, just like before, perfect for this little top pocket here, is great for small accessories. And then in here, you have pretty much your slots for your laptop, notebooks and things like that. This being a much bigger backpack, just the width is wider than a guy like this. You can definitely put a much bigger laptop here. I didn't have any issues on either one with my 11-inch or my 13-inch. I think this would fit the 15-inch laptop much more comfortably, but you got a lot of space to work here, and you can put whatever you want in here, paper and notes and things like that. So you got your top compartment here. This little top pocket is great for kind of the miscellaneous accessories, which I'll try to do a demo of in a bit. Oh, I forgot. You got up here this little quick access pocket. Quick access pocket is nice to have as well. And then you got your side pockets. Your side pockets are great for water bottles, tripod, and I'll say the first round of feedback for this backpack is that yes, the side pockets are bigger than the 20 liter, which means that my tripod can fit in much more easily in the 30 liter. Just less of a snug fit and something I'd really had to kind of jam in. This was an easy glide fit right into the side pocket, really easy to use. And then you got all these different type of connectors that kind of can lock things down. And finally, again, the back side, same deal. You got the sternum strap here, which you can kind of use it as a chest strap to keep your bag with you, so it's nice and snug. I got the capture here connected with this one, and this has worked really well for me. I'll give you a demo of that. Nice padded straps, and then you got this Velcro part here, and this is great for putting it on your luggage handle. So sliding it through your luggage handle, so you can carry kind of everything together and roll it all together as one piece. So really good to have. You got more additional straps back here if you wanted to have they call it the external carry. I haven't really used it for any specific purposes, but you definitely can. There are a lot of loops and things where you can tie everything down. I'm not going to show it in this video, but overall, again, if you watch this video, pretty much the same deal, just bigger. Love the leather accents here. You don't really get it on the charcoal. I think that's one big difference in terms of design, in terms of aesthetics, and you got the top here with that nice saddle brown as well. Okay, so initial feedback on this backpack. Like I said, tripod fits in really easy. It's comfortable. I think one thing that I've noticed traveling with this is that the sternum strap does tend to expand, maybe because I have a bigger chest, I'm not sure, but over time, this seemed to loosen. It wasn't that, it didn't lock in as much as I hoped it would. So I really had to, every 15, 20 minutes, I would basically have to like pull it back in to tighten it up. I felt that when I had water bottles in here, it was really hard for me to get the water bottle without taking the bag off. So why don't I actually put the bag on and show you really the differences. With my body type, it pretty much is end to end of my body. It does from behind look a little bit larger, but I'm okay with it. I think it looks still pretty good when it's nice and snug. Just gonna turn around and show you how it looks, right? So I think for me, it was just, you can see my hands can barely get up there. It's really awkward to get a water bottle. So that was a little bit annoying. You can cinch it up and loosen it if you need to really easily. But yeah, that was one of the things I'm like, I can't get my water bottle. So when I compare that with the 20 liter, just so that you can do a comparison here. So 20 liter, I would say, for my body type, fits better, I guess. It doesn't look as large on my body, so it feels more like a regular backpack. Of course, the problem is it just doesn't carry as much. This one, you're probably gonna have that water bottle problem again. I just didn't really realize that until I started doing more hardcore hiking. So this is what the 20 liter looks like. But everything else has been great. I mean, like, dealt with heavy rain in Hawaii. The water repellency worked to an extent. Once the rain started coming really down, definitely the fabric started to soak. But because of just how it's built, water kind of falls off from the top. All your stuff here is protected because you're dealing with kind of multiple layers. You got this layer to deal with. then this layer, and then it finally gets down here. And so all my stuff on the inside pretty much stayed dry. So I'd say that the water repellency, the water resistancy of this backpack is pretty good. Doesn't really need a rain cover, although I did try to protect it with like a rain poncho afterwards just in case. But it does a pretty good job, Carries a lot of stuff. I think the knock on this is it's just not gonna be able to carry as much. I traveled with my mirrorless gear. I can definitely comfortably travel with my DSLR stuff. This one, DSLR, probably not so much. It was really tight, even for the OMD EM1 on this guy. If I put my 5D Mark III, probably wouldn't do so well. With this guy, I could easily carry all of this plus my drone. So why don't we do that right now? Let's try to pack this guy with camera gear and just miscellaneous gear. Okay, so let's say you have all of this camera gear, you got some miscellaneous stuff that you're traveling with, you're going on a hike, you're gonna wanna have all this with you. How do we actually pack this thing? So let me show you. I usually start off with my camera gear. You wanna get the inside compartment filled up, and it's really easy. I'm gonna put my camera body fits perfectly. The dividers are set up the right way. I got my long lens out here. So this side is done for camera gear. Lock it up. I already have my batteries in here, and let's say all the accessories are good to go. And then on this side, I got some space here. My mirrorless is smaller for sure and can fit more things. So I'm just gonna pop this down, creates a new divider, and I put this lens out here. I think one thing to be very careful of with this bag, I think just inherent in its design is that because both sides open up, I felt that traveling wise, I could never remember which side was what. So I had to really pack accordingly to how I'm used to swinging the bag out. So to get my camera gear really easily, I'm used to doing this, right? And so I have to make sure that the body is on this side, which I did wrong this time. So it's something to be aware of. And you always want to make sure that your flaps are closed, because if you accidentally leave any of your flaps open, especially for something like this, your lens is just going to fall out. It's going to fall out. So it'd be nice maybe in an iteration of this if there were straps to keep things down so that you don't accidentally have stuff falling out. But it's just something you have to learn with. So that's one thing I'll caution you if you're getting a bag like this. So I got my camera gear in. Let's talk about the tripod. I talked about this being a lot easier. You can see here that without much effort, goes right in. There's definitely a strap here I can work with that is built in where I can just loop it in the back side. There's a little loop here. This kind of just locks in, clamp down, good to go. Okay, and then stuff on the top. So, you know, you'll probably travel with maybe a notebook and a laptop. So laptop goes in one of the slots here, and then notebook goes in, we're good there. And then I love this top miscellaneous spot here because I could put my sunglasses, I can put my headphones, my Jaybirds, other charger, good to go. And then your maglash compartment here. So I think the coolest thing I discovered about the 30 liter is that with my Mavic Pro that I have in here, this is part of the Fly More package. It comes with this pouch, this bag here, that I could literally just put this straight in. And I don't think that was advertised, but just something I randomly discovered and works perfectly. So I got that right in there. There is even more space to put more stuff. So when I was traveling, I got my passport and things like that. So I take my passport out, let's say, I put this in, all my documentation is in there, laptop charge cables, battery pack, all that, put that right in there, lock it up, and ooh, it's heavy, it's heavy. Looks pretty packed up, right? I think one thing that I learned was that when you're packing, you just want to make sure this extra fabric on the side fits in, especially when it's raining. You don't want water to fall in or somebody to like try to stick their hand inside for some reason. So you just want to make sure that this fits inside. This is good. And remember I talked about that nice little easy access thing? Oh my gosh, this is so perfect for the passport. So I just put it in here. I put in my boarding pass up here. So it's really quick. When I need to get my stuff, I put my bag down. All I do is just grab this and I'm good to go. So I thought that was really convenient. And that's pretty much it. So when I put this on, show you what this looks like. All right, so this is the backpack on me. So fully loaded, what does this look like? This is my back. I'm gonna turn around. And this is the front side. And so, sternum strap, I had some issues with it, but you can get it to work. Just kind of cinch it up. Okay, keep it tight. Got your capture here. Hopefully you guys can see this. My head's probably cut off. But this is what this looks like. Doesn't stick out too much, to be honest. And I was able to hike with this no problem. And I'll show you what how the capture works. So I'm going to. So wondered what this looks like with the capture. With my OMD EM1, I got the plate stuck on. And honestly, when I'm traveling, even though it's nice to have the camera accessible from the side pockets, I love just doing this. So capture is awesome for this. You got the sternum strap kind of connected, and I'm pretty much traveling like this most of the time. So I'm gonna stand up for a bit. Yeah, I can walk around with this. This thing is pretty snug, and when I need to access my camera, if I unlock this, just push, pull, camera's good to go, and I can shoot. So really convenient to use. My feedback on this is that even though this is the right position for it, most likely, so pay attention to kind of where I put my capture in comparison with this tag up here, is that it does stick out a bit. My arms, if I'm walking, you know, I will probably hit the camera a bit. You'll probably have the same problem if you have it on the left side. So it's just kind of there. When it was raining, I had to put a cover on it because I was worried that it would get too wet. But otherwise, I think it was pretty good. It was pretty good to use. So that's how I was traveling with this. Probably next time I might try this way. I felt like this was getting in the way a lot of the time. So maybe I had the camera out on the left side. So this is if I was traveling with all this camera gear. So why don't I do packing with just clothes? And I did that for another trip, and I thought that was really cool. I just used it as kind of a piece of luggage. All right, so let's try that. Okay, so what if you're traveling with all these clothes? You're going for like a 2-day hike, a trek, just a trip somewhere. You're staying at a hotel. It doesn't really matter. You got some clothes. You got some, you know, your laptop and some gear there. So how do you pack this thing? And actually, it works really well as a non-photographer backpack. And I just wanted to show that to you because I know that's a question that a lot of you guys had. So how would I pack this guy? Really, I don't do anything different with my dividers. They're set up perfectly for clothes. So I got t-shirts, got my ex officios, which I do review about on my blog. Swim trunks, I got some base layers, let's say if I'm going somewhere cold, some socks. Yeah, just kind of basic stuff here. So the key with packing, as you know, is all about rolling your clothes. So all I gotta do, roll some clothes, roll them up, put them in a slot, perfect. And I do the same thing. Okay, this is a bit of a mess, but you know, it's pretty good, pretty close. So just gonna roll these guys up. Got my swim trunks. Okay, so all these slots are filled. Now I just have underwear, and you can really do this honestly however you feel like. I got top compartment for that, throw in some socks, and that is how you pack clothes. Close this up. And then you can pretty much do all your other stuff with it. I have a ton more space up here. I don't know if you can see, a lot of space. So I'm gonna put, you know, passport stuff, charger. And if I want, you know, a laptop in here, I actually didn't really take out some of that other stuff earlier, but let's say take out the 11-inch, put in the 13-inch. 13-inch goes here, 13-inch goes in, and you got another packed backpack. Cinch it down to keep it even tighter with the mag latch, and I am good to go. That's pretty much all there was. For a 2-day trip, this was perfect. Gonna put this on. One thing I don't think I talked to you guys about it, even in my last video, is that this bag does come with a waist strap. So it's kind of hidden back there, but there are straps, and this is in really tight mode. But once you find this strap, all you do is kind of bring it together, and you got a waist strap. So it does have that feature, in case you're wondering. So on top of the sternum strap up here, waist strap, you can keep your bag pretty nice and tight with your body, especially for hikes and things, which you kind of need. So I think that covers about everything for my comparison of the Peak Design Everyday Backpack 30-liter versus the 20-liter. Both bags are fantastic. It really depends on what you're using it for. I've used it in both different types of scenarios. One bag again for more of the smaller trips, that truly everyday backpack. This backpack to carry just a ton of gear. My drone now, I can use it for packing clothes. It's like a piece of luggage if I wanted to use it that way. Works really well. I've beat this bag quite a bit. The bag is a bit dirty on the bottom side. It was quite muddy in Hawaii. Survived all of that. I threw this thing around, kept all my gear safe. Love the look of this backpack. Got a lot of compliments on it as I was traveling. So really can't go wrong with either backpack. Both are available for purchase. Right now it's out of the Kickstarter program, so you can find it at stores like B&H. And so, yeah, drop a line if you have any questions about either of these backpacks. If you want to see more, I can definitely do another video. So I hope you've enjoyed. This is my comparison review of both backpacks, and so I hope you stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel for more of my travel goodies and travel videos, and I hope you see you soon on Going Awesome Places.